Hi guys, welcome to another video from the Football G. Today we're going to do the preview for the Manchester United game versus Everton. This game is taking place tomorrow and it is a huge game for Manchester. We have to get the 3 points tomorrow. It's a must, it's needed so that the team can have breathing space. It's needed so that the fans can have a little bit of respite, because if we do lose this game, we're going to be going through the same situation that we did where Tottenham whooped us a couple of weeks ago and we had to deal with the misery that we sat with over the international period. So these players need to get their shit together and they need to get a win tomorrow. It is a must. So over the last 5 games, Everton have won 2 games, they've drawn 1, and they've lost their most recent 2 games. Manchester United is on the exact same run. We lost our last 2 games, we've drawn 1 and we've won 2 games. So the difference between those two is that Everton is sitting in a much higher position in the league, whereas Manchester United right now is sitting in 15th place, which is not where we belong. It doesn't look good, and if you add that to the performances, it's just demoralizing to see that. But again, as I've always said, I will be positive and I'm going to approach this season with a positive mindset, and that's exactly how I'm going to approach this game as well, which is we will beat Everton. I had a different thought process before I made this video, but I just thought about it. I was like, what do we have to lose? You know, Manchester, so far we've had such a massive roller coaster of matches and results. I do believe it's time for us to have a peak, and this is the perfect game to go and do it. So yes guys, that is my expectation for the game. That is going to be an awesome game, but let me get into the finer details of it. So Everton have a lot of danger men that we need to be concerned about. The 2 that I'm going to focus on is James Rodriguez and Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin right now is one of the best strikers in the league, form-wise. He's just been a shining light since the start of the season. Ancelotti has been able to get the best out of him with the system that he's playing and the players that he's put around him. And nobody expected it, to be honest. There were little moments and hints of his capabilities over the last few years, but I certainly didn't expect him to have this kind of run of form, which is good to see because he's a young player, he's an honest player, and yeah, what can you say? Let's hope he doesn't have this kind of game tomorrow, or actually furthermore, he can have that game, but we just need to be better. We need to be way more efficient than we've been lately. So that's my thought process on Calvert-Lewin. I think our defense will be able to handle him if they approach the game in the right mindset, which is going to happen. The next player is James Rodriguez, who's had an amazing season. Another player where nobody's really people knew his potential since the 2014 World Cup, when he had that amazing run and he got his dream move to Real Madrid. Everybody knows the quality that this boy has, but he hasn't been able to tap into it consistently enough for us to actually see it on the big stage. He finally looks like he's settled and he's playing under a coach that believes in him and that is able to let him have the free role which he needs to influence the game. And the tempo of the Premier League somehow is suiting him, which is great to see because we've all been waiting to see the best of James, and it is happening right now. So again, let's hope that if he does have a great game, we have an even better game so that we can counter Everton's abilities. Richarlison is the 3rd player, but he shouldn't be playing tomorrow due to his suspension, so we don't have to worry about him. But the player filling in for him will be Alex Iwobi, I assume, and he's quite pacey and tricky, but it's not really that much of a concern to worry about if Wan-Bissaka is on his form and on his game. Their midfield is so formidable. They've got such a solid midfield. They've got Allen from Napoli, and they've got Olivier Decore from Watford, and Andre Gomez, who's been with Everton for the last 2-3 seasons. They have specific roles. The instructions are extremely clear, which is not the situation that we find ourselves in, where we have midfielders that try and hold 2 positions and 2 roles, and they get caught up in the middle, and that's when mistakes happen, like where Pogba gets put further back in the box, and he ends up giving a penalty away, which we ended up losing against Arsenal. So they have a very clear system. It's very similar to Liverpool, where you know that the midfielders are the workhorses. Alan does the cleaning up, he shields the defense. Decore does a little bit of the breaking down. He cycles the ball, he moves it forward so that Andre Gomez and James Rodriguez can get the ball into Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. And like I said, Andre Gomez is the passer. He came from Barcelona. He played for Barcelona for a few years, so he's got a slick passing range that we need to be worried about. But we will take care of that. What I think we need to do to get the best out of our team tomorrow is to target their two centre backs. I personally don't think Jeremina and Michael Keane are the greatest centre backs. I wouldn't have them at Manchester United, even with what's going on right now. I think they've been made to look better than what they are because the team collectively is performing very well, and plus they have that perfect central defensive midfielder there, which is Alan, and they have another workhorse next to him, Decore, who's basically covering for them. But if you can expose them, if you can bypass that, and we get Martial and Rashford and whoever's playing up top to run at these defenders and put them under pressure when Jeremina has the ball, especially, then I say him especially, even though Keane is the lesser of a passer, and if he gets the ball, that would be the press trigger. But I say Jeremina because he will receive the ball a lot more, and he believes he's a ball player. But I've seen moments with him when he's put under pressure, his touch is not that great. He tends to overrun the ball, and that's when we need to sneak the ball away and try and hit them on the counter as soon as possible. My team selection for tomorrow is, firstly, my formation for tomorrow that I think is going to be effective against this Everton team is a 3-5-2 formation. This has been successful against PSG and against RB Leipzig, and I think that it's going to have the same effect tomorrow. Specifically because we need protection around our defense. The defense lately has been a shambles, which everybody in the whole world is aware of. But I do believe that when we do play in this system, it gives them enough protection with the two defensive midfielders playing in front of them, and it forces the opposition teams to try and bypass our right and left wing backs, and that's difficult to do without leaving spaces in behind in the opposition. So the goalkeeper is a given. It's David De Gea as the normal. He'll be back, considering that he missed the game in the week. Then we'll have Axel Tuanzebe, Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire playing that centre back three pairing. On the left hand side of the midfield / defense, so the left wing back will be Alex Telles, the right wing back will be Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We'll have Fred and McTominay playing in front of the midfield again to do the same type of job they did against PSG. And then we have Bruno playing in the number 10 position to give that creative spark going forward. Hopefully he's able to pick the similar kind of passes as he did against RB Leipzig to try and release the strikers quicker so they can get Everton while they're still pushed up high in the field. And then up front, the front two will be Martial and Marcus Rashford. I think they are going to be the most effective players trying to implement the game plan that they have. And I think that once they do get the space that they need to run in behind, they're going to cause the Everton defense a lot of trouble. So my predicted score for tomorrow, I think it's going to be a very, very close game. Everton's also under a lot of pressure because of the last two games that they've won, but obviously there is no pressure like pressure against Manchester United. But I do think that our result will be a 3-2 win for us. I'm going with a positive result. I did have a different prediction when I started the video in my head, but I'm going to go with a 3-2 win. Our defense is not as secure as it has been, and I don't think that theirs is either. But I do believe that we will be able to outscore them because right now they're sitting with one of their best players who's suspended and we won't be able to play. Martial obviously hasn't played in the Premier League for a while as well, so I expect that he's going to have a massive impact in the way that we play. And Alex Telles also, his delivery, his ability to run forward and cross, and his dribbling ability is going to play a major role tomorrow. So yes guys, it's a game to look forward to. I know it's nervous going into this game because if we do mess up, like I said, we have 2 weeks that we have to deal with the fallout from this match, but I do think that this team is going to wake up and they're going to get the result because the players are fighting for the coach and for themselves as well, because I mean you can't keep hiding behind the coach. Players need to take responsibility, and I think it's going to happen tomorrow. So guys, give me your thoughts in the comment section about what you think about the video, what you think about the match tomorrow, what your formations, what your lineups could be. Also don't forget to like and subscribe with the video, and thank you again for tuning in to the Football G. I'll post another video after the match, so look out for that. Thanks guys, cheers.